Hi, I'm Harut Kazarian.
And I'm Ashley McClure.
And this is Tornado TV.
Every spring, students from Hoover, Toll, and Keppel come together to support the arts in the annual block party on Glenwood Road. This year, over $2,500 was raised, and Harut was there to catch all the excitement.
We are at the Keppel Toll Hoover Block Party, where students and parents from all three schools have come together to support the arts.
This community, the Keppel Toll Hoover community, is unique in Glendale in its physical proximity, but the proximity that allows this kind of shared effort.
You know, we're really excited to celebrate the arts at Hoover, and we want to just keep building the community, and that's really where I came up with this idea, is they start at Keppel, and Toll has great arts as well. You know, even some of our teachers teach across the street, and I wanted to get it into the streets, and I wanted our community to see this is a community that supports the arts, and if they want their kids to be budding artists and film producers and all sorts of things, they can come to our schools.
The arts help build the whole school experience, help draw the community and build the community, help create the spirit, help sustain the spirit, and train people for the largest economic sector in this region.
We cut the legs off of our pants, threw our shoes into the ocean, sit back and wait through the daylight, sit back and wait through the daylight, slip and slide on subway grades, shoot our poor man's ice skate, fall through like change in the daylight, fall through like change in the daylight. I'm the shepherd line tomorrow, and put on my drum. Maybe I'll paint them in my soul, maybe I'll paint them in my soul, maybe I'll paint them in my soul.
In our continuing series, Teachers by Day, Artists by Night, art teacher Jason Pinsker shows us how his enthusiasm inspires his students.
In terms of art is something that has been as natural to me as anything in my life. When I was a very little kid, I was interested in drawing and painting and just making things with my hands and constructing things. So in terms of artwork, it's really a lifestyle. So when I went to college for fine art and studied drawing and painting, and then took some animation classes and some filmmaking classes. And I found in high school and in college I got into different forms of special effects. That's always something that interested me. So after college I went into work in the special effects industry, and eventually made my way into teaching art here at the high school level. I think this is where I will be. This is where I want to be. In the summers, I have already in the past worked back in special effects jobs and art-related things. So you know, as long as those opportunities are open during the summer, I feel like, you know, during the year I can be a teacher, focus on helping students discover art. And then during the summer, I can get back into the nitty-gritty industry stuff.
Where were you in 1951? Watch as former Hoover alumni come back to open a time capsule left behind by their graduating class.
Hi, I'm Harut Kazarian with Tornado TV in the Upper Quad, where a time capsule from the class of 1951 is about to be opened.
Senior class of 1951.
I think it's really important. It's one of my missions to bring the sense of pride and spirit back to Hoover. I think we've lost touch with it for so long. It's just become four walls. We don't have this sense of Hoover's greatness, and we've lost it. So that's my goal, and I love seeing everybody out. This is just one of many things you're going to see coming in the next year.
This is our time capsule that we buried, that our senior class president, Skip Inslee, put in the ground when we were getting ready to graduate. Our class committees, our class history, our class will, and our class prophecy.
Well, we're in shock. I mean, we've never expected this. We were ready 2 months ago to open the capsule down at the yard. And here this fanfare and everything is just,
Kind
isn't
of
it?
overwhelming.
It's
yes.
overwhelming. Oh yeah. You've improved the band uniforms too in 60 years.
They're gorgeous. Love it.
And now a special look at the 10th anniversary of 9/11.
10 years ago, the United States endured the worst terrorist attack that had taken place on American soil. On September 11, 2001, 2 airplanes crashed into the World Trade Center, collapsing both buildings. Shortly after, another hijacked airplane crashed into the Pentagon, and another that was said to be headed to the White House or Capitol building crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, due to the heroism of the Americans on the flight. Hoover staff remember their experiences on the day that America changed forever.
I was living in Phoenix at the time, so I think it was the same obvious, well, sometimes we're a little different, the same time zone. Most of us were home when they started reporting it on the news, but we didn't know it was a plane. If you remember, when the first one hit, we thought it was some sort of an explosion. It wasn't until later in the morning we realized it was planes hitting. So we all went to school, all of the teachers and the administrators.
I was in my car leaving early in the morning for work when I heard it on my car radio.
My sister called from Eastern Canada. She was in Toronto, and so she called me and said, turn on the TV. And I turned on the TV
Sean, what can you tell
between the first and second planes.
Well, on September 10th, before 9/11, it was just a regular day, school, beginning of second grade. And I was there with my childhood friend, his name was Anthony. You know, we used to take the bus together, and then he would always be at the bus first, and then I would come after that. And then we just went to school, and then 9/11, like the day after, it's just, he wasn't on the bus.
It was unbelievable. I didn't know whether this was real or not.
Pure fear. You didn't know what was coming next. Are there more?
It's just a shock. It's really, at first it's shock. There's no other way to describe that moment.
Shock? How could you not be shocked? We're still shocked at those images. We're still shocked at what happened, and we didn't see it coming.
And I thought to myself, is this real? Could this possibly be happening? And of course it was happening, and it was unbelievable. I was rather stunned when I finally realized what was happening, and almost immobile. I couldn't do much of anything else with it happening.
I was absolutely frightened, because the thought is it coming here too? Where does this end, is the fear.
I asked on Facebook, what do you remember from 9/11? The responses were overwhelming. Hoover students still vividly remember the details of that day.
I remember being in second grade, was it? Well, either way, I remember watching in awe when people chose death.
I was in second grade, and I remember waking up and seeing my stepdad just.
I remember my whole family crowding around TV. I knew something was up. There was a really dark and scary feeling in our house that day. When my teacher announced it, I remember a lot of silence in the whole class.
And I think this is the one that's the most difficult for me, is when they started to allow the airplanes to fly the airspace, they opened up the airspace, how my students would shake, visibly shake and hold on to me, because they were just so afraid that meant that plane was going to come and hit the school.
I knew his father owned a deli around the Twin Towers, but a little farther out near the village, where like most of the pizzerias and everything, delis, were consisted of there. And his mother worked in the Twin Towers. She was, I think, human resources or something like that. And usually he would always visit her and everything, and go see her at work and be with her. Maybe he went to see her that day and probably just never came back. Just appreciate life. That's all there is. I mean, there's no need to complain about life. If you're already here, you just appreciate everything. I mean, just like that, 2,000 people or more died just from that attack. I mean, just appreciate it. Appreciate that you're here, that you're even watching something, you're at school, or you're just doing something with your life. I mean, sure, you might not get things your way, but no one always gets things their way. It's just, that's what I learned. I learned you gotta just live your life. Don't like look down at yourself and just want everything your way.
All freshmen entering Hoover have the same goal of graduating in June of their senior year. The class of 2011 shared their memories with us.
Shane Vera. Sean.
I'm gonna miss the social aspect, being able to see my friends every day. It's like a scheduled social life, you know. You get to go to lunch and you know you're getting to hang out with your friends for 30 minutes a day.
Stella Yee.
I think I'm gonna miss my pep flags team the most because we used to fool around during practice, and I'm gonna miss that the most.
Amanda Morales.
I'm going to miss the atmosphere that the students and the teachers create for me. I love the teachers here and I love being at Hoover. Just the presence of it is what I'm going to miss.
Gloria Hong.
I think I'm going to miss the teachers a lot, having friends of course, and just basically the overall high school experience. It's something that you could never have in other places.
I will miss playing with the volleyball team, and I'll miss my funner classes that I had and my friends.
I'm gonna miss my friends and just playing football, you know. It was a big part of my 4 years here, so.
I'm gonna miss Yama and all my friends in Yama. That's my family, and that's always been amazing. We have amazing teachers. Honestly, Ms. Cooper and Mr. Lundin especially for helping me so much, and like Hoover High School with the most AP classes ever, thanks to those. And it's like, it's been the greatest 4 years of my life, and I don't want it to end.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Tornado TV.
See you next time. Visit tornadotimes.com for more news and videos.